All right, Nick, let's talk about the LSU Tigers. By this point, everyone knows Garrett Nussmeier coming back to LSU. LSU fans knows it, but I don't think people in the media sphere are giving this as much credit as it deserves as far as this making LSU one of the top contenders in all of college football with this move. But we have a story highlighting just how impactful this will be. Before we get to that, I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, Nick, as I alluded to, Garrett Nussmeier coming back. There's an article out there. There's some people out there that are thinking this could be one of the most impactful moves for LSU in the future of this program as far as the 2025 season goes. Let's get on into it and we can talk more about it on the other side. This is from SI.com. It says LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier will return to Baton Rouge for the 2025 season with unfinished business after his first season as the starter last fall. Nussmeier, the Tigers' starting signal caller in 2024, will look to build off a productive redshirt junior campaign for the Bayou Bengals with the chance to take that next step. 24/7 Sports revealed their projections for the top 10 quarterbacks for 2025 season, with Nussmeier coming in at number 2. He falls only behind Cade Klubnik of Clemson, who obviously is number 1. Brad Crawford from 24/7 Sports revealed his projections for Nussmeier in 2025 and what makes his number 1 overall pick potential for LSU. He said when he's on, Garrett Nussmeier has number 1 overall pick potential. When he's off, the quarterback who backed up Jaden Daniels gets into his head a little bit, leading to mistakes. This is all from Brad Crawford saying that he believes that Nussmeier, number 1 overall pick potential, can be one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the country. I think LSU got a major win here when Nussmeier came back. I don't think people are giving them nearly enough credit. But with that being said, I know you have some thoughts on this one, Nick, but before we get to you, LSU fans, in the comment section below, we're talking about Garrett Nussmeier. We're talking about the team that is going to go forward in 2025. There's a lot of new players coming around. There's a lot of new transfers coming to the team as well. They've done good in both of those regards. What are you most excited for this coming season? Is it Nussmeier coming back? Do you think he takes the leap to be the best quarterback in the country? Is it maybe some of these guys through the recruit or the transfer portal side of things that you think are going to take the step up and really up the Tigers game? Let us know your thoughts on what you're most excited about this season in the comment section below. But nonetheless, Nick, what do you think about this latest news for the Tigers?
Well, I think it's important to understand that Garrett Nussmeier, again, he had these moments, especially in the late in some of these key games, where he looked absolutely elite, but consistency was such a problem. And we're starting to see now this 24/7 reports and some other analysts come out and saying, listen, if you watch the tape and look back at his performances, if he gets rid of the inconsistencies, this LSU team isn't good. They aren't very good. They are unstoppable offensively. They can go up against anyone and bury them. Defensively, they had some issues. Somehow they couldn't stop the quarterback run for some bonkers reason last season. That has to be addressed. But the inconsistencies at Nussmeier in the quarterback position obviously hurt them. If he can solve those problems, he has every single physical tool, every single productive element in his game that you could ever ask for. And I know there's always the comparison of like, okay, how can we get back to Joe Burrow or Jaden Daniels, right? People talk about LSU being wide receiver U and DBU. They may be QBU with the way things have happened over the past decade or so. And those are high bars to live up to. But Nussmeier has that physical potential to perform Burrow-esque. Daniels-esque in terms of being incredibly productive. I think he can get it done. Solving the consistency issues is the biggest reason. If he can fix that, there's nothing to stop this LSU program. And I think that's the one question mark I have going forward with Nussmeier. I'm not concerned about the defense. I honestly think it'll be fixed with another recruiting class, solid recruiting transfer class. I think for me, Garrett Nussmeier is the secret weapon. He is going to be the guy that when he wins, if he wins the Heisman, if he goes on to be a first round pick, things like that, people are going to be like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. I don't think so. I think we're seeing the rumblings right now of momentum with Garrett Nussmeier. And I understand LSU Tigers fans are like, yeah, he puts up great numbers, but the turnovers and the occasional dud game, I understand you guys have reasons for concern. But the more I think about this LSU squad, there isn't a reason they can't win the SEC next year. There isn't a reason they can't win the national title next year. To me, it all depends on Garrett Nussmeier if he can be consistent. I know I've said that like 5 times, but I think it's so brutally important. If it's hammered in his head this offseason by Coach Kelly, by this offensive staff, again, another year of experience under his belt, I see no reason why he can't come into the 2025 season and become the best quarterback, the best player in all of college football. I think we're well on our way to reaching that goal. People are sleeping on LSU right now for some good reasons, right? Obviously, disappointing way the season ended up playing out for him. But the way things are shaping up right now and the momentum specifically behind Nussmeier, I think they're a real threat. Once again, not just to win the SEC, but to win the whole darn thing.
Yeah, Nate, can we talk about, just consistency, some synonyms with that: seasoned, veteran. Those are things that we have to have in the surrounding cast of a guy like Garrett Nussmeier for him to come out and really key in on that consistency factor. Because I believe I 100% agree with you on that point that he needs to be, if he can be consistently, just, he doesn't even have to be as high as high. He can be above average consistently. This is a team that can go all the way easily. And you look at this class in the transfer portal for LSU, the number one ranked transfer portal class in all of college football. You look what they get. They have 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers in that transfer portal class, as well as 2 interior offensive linemen, but specifically keying in on playmakers. 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers for Garrett Nussmeier, veteran guys coming in from big time programs. You're talking about guys from Texas A&M, Oklahoma's of the world, 2 guys from Oklahoma. You're talking about guys from Kentucky, just really a Florida State. They're talking about really, really seasoned veteran guys from big time programs all coming to LSU. I think that's what puts him over the edge this year. Having veteran, seasoned, consistent playmakers around him is going to help him. We've seen there's great young guys coming in and out of LSU. There's a lot of turnover because of how talented those guys are, consistently sending people to the NFL year in and year out, but refilling those ranks, not with just freshmen, but with some veteran guys here. I think there's a concerted effort through this transfer portal class to get veteran playmakers to get that level of consistency back up. I think that is one of the reasons why Garrett Nussmeier will succeed this season.
And if you go back, and I just pulled up the numbers here just to confirm, if you look at their most disappointing losses, I think Texas A&M, 3 interceptions from Nussmeier. How about Alabama, 2 interceptions, right? Again, the defense bears part of the blame for those defeats, obviously. But I think having disaster games, those 3-pick games, 2-pick games, to your point, if he can just get those down to just, hey, listen, maybe you only throw 1 pick those games, right? That's the difference. They win those games, they're 10-2, they're in the college football playoff. We all understand that. That's how close LSU. It's Nussmeier solving those disaster games. If he can fix that problem, again, consistency, consistency, consistency. LSU's got the talent. They already had the talent. They did a good job, like you said, through the transfer class. A lot of great players coming into Baton Rouge. People are sleeping on Brian Kelly and LSU right now with Garrett Nussmeier. I think the squad is a serious threat, once again, to win the whole darn thing in 2025.